Welcome to Old City Radio, live from Yerushalayim.
David HaMelech, King David says, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha. You have to serve God with joy.
We have to be b'simcha. Hey Rabbi, how you doing?
Shalom, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. So today we had some hard news. We heard that 11 soldiers, Israeli soldiers, had lost their lives. And I wanted to ask you, how do we respond to this?
As we've said in all of the podcasts before, this is to feel the appropriate pain, suffering of not only them, that their families and girlfriends and friends and the whole extended family and the whole Jewish people. But what I always do when I approach death, also my father passed away earlier this year, is it makes me think about life. And I think this is what Judaism is really about. We're about life. How am I going to live a better life in their honor? Because they gave up their life fighting so that I could be here now to live my life. So am I really living my life in a way that makes it worth them having given up their life? When they're going to be looking down, and by the way, they're in the greatest place you could possibly be. I think the best way to die is to die fighting for Israel. So they're going to the highest place. Obviously it's a tragedy when people die young, for their families and for everyone around them. It doesn't mean they lived a tragic life though. To die fighting for what you believe in means you really died a meaningful death, and you died a hero's death. And tens of thousands of people have since 1948 given their life for something beyond themselves. They've gone beyond themselves and they've given their life. As Rav Noach Weinberg used to say to us though, is that it's very amazing to die a meaningful death, but we need to live a meaningful life. You live a hero's life. So I think to myself, okay, so I'm still here and I'm still representing, so I have to step up now. I have to become a greater person in their honor, really, in their name. And they're going to be looking down for Shemayim at me. And I often think to myself, are they looking down and thinking, was it really worth giving my life up for Dov Bear? You know, what's he doing? Is he sitting around just smoking weed and watching Netflix the whole time? It's not worth giving my life up for people like that. They gave their life up for an ideal, for a mission, for a cause, for the Jewish people. So therefore I want to live my life for that, as they gave up their life, so that they can look down on me and they can say, you know what, it was worth it. I gave up my life for him to live his life for what I gave up my life for. So it makes me and hopefully everyone else around us say, okay, I better step up now. I really have a responsibility, actually. I have a duty and a responsibility to be living a much, much better life, to make their death worthwhile. They gave their life for me, I better make that worthwhile by stepping up. So being a victim and being disempowered by this is not the response. Once again, feeling our pain and crying, but we have to step up and become the greatest people and start asking ourselves, what really am I living for? Am I living a meaningful life whatsoever? Do I have a real goal? Do I have a real purpose? You know, there are lots of lonely people they're living okay lives and going to the movies once in a while and picking their kids up from sports practice and having dinner parties. And that's lovely, and I'm sure they're wonderful people. But I think we're being called upon now to live heroes' lives, meaningful lives for the Jewish people, helping our brothers and sisters. As we've been saying for this whole time, unity, and I think getting up earlier, exercising more, becoming the greatest person we can. So our response to death is life, greater life, bigger life, more meaningful life.
What are some methods that we can implement into recognizing what we are supposed to do? You said that you have to look at yourself and see what can I do better. Can you just help us out with trying to figure out and locate and decide what it is that I need to do?
Yes, the first thing, and it says really at the beginning of Mesilas Yesharim, Yesod HaChasidus v'Shorsh Avoda Tamimahu Sheyitbarev Yitamed Etzel Ha'adam Ma'chavot Ha'olamo, which means you have to have a goal in mind. You have to be living for an overall very, very clear purpose. You have to very focused, clear goal. What am I living for? Why am I getting out of bed in the morning? The amount of people I ask them and say, do you find it difficult to get out of bed in the morning? And most people say, yeah, very difficult. So I say, how about if I offered you $50,000 to get out of bed early? Would you do it? And they said, of course I would. So I said, well, that means you don't find it difficult to get out of bed. You just don't really value what you're getting out of bed for. So once you value what you're getting out of bed for, your $50,000, then you get out of bed. So we need to start valuing our life. And you value your life and you have vitality if you know what you're living for. So for now, just on a practical level, things like improving your character traits. Stop being so lazy, stop being so angry, jealous, low self-esteem, arrogance. That's a practical goal that we can work on. And on the David HaMelech says, Sur mira ve'aseh tov, which means get away from negativity and implement positivity. So we can really start breaking down our negative character traits, working on letting go of them, and then tapping into positive ones, love and compassion and inspiration and empowerment. I think maybe we could do a whole class on how to actually start practically working on your character traits. But I think that's where I'd start. Making myself a better person doesn't mean becoming better at tennis or having better clothes. It means having the right values, and one of our main values is the Jewish people and the land of Israel, and implementing the values through our character traits and our relationships with those around us.
Wow. So something I actually just recently heard was that if you want to find something that you can improve on, you can. Just stop and think about it for a second. You will figure out something.
Well, if you want it, you will find it in any area of life.
And
once again, if you want that money, you'll get up in the morning for it. If you want to become a better person, you'll find what to work on.
And you'll also find the solution, meaning you'll find the problem, and if you think for a little bit longer, you'll find a way to solve that problem. That was the full idea. If you want to elaborate on that.
I actually just gave a class about this today, that some people are victims and some people are solution seekers. So we have to train ourselves to say, okay, this is bad, but how can I fix this? What can I do about this? I actually just told the story about the plane crash in the Andes. There was a rugby team and they crashed in the Andes. An amazing movie about it and book about it, and basically some of them survived for 2 months. But I think there were some of them who gave up very quickly, which is understandable. But the survivors, they walked miles and miles over the mountains in terrible conditions with not enough food to save the other ones. And we see, I don't know if you've read Man's Search for Meaning, Viktor Frankl, about the Holocaust. So they're saying there were some people in the camps that gave up very quickly. Once again, understandable. I don't know what I'd be like in there. But there were those people who were saying, right, well, this is my situation, this is where I am, so I'm going to share my bread. I'm going to try and help other people. So once you find the meaning, then that is what propels you to keep going even under the most difficult circumstances. Bezrat Hashem.
All right. Thank you so much, Rabbi.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Old City Radio. Hope to see you again very soon.
Remember, this isn't just information, there's tools and practical wisdom to completely transform your life.
Faces International, thank you very much.